Welcome to Science Access. In today's class, we're going to be talking about nucleic acid. Nucleic acid are large biomolecules that help to store and transmit genetic information. It also helps in regulation of protein synthesis. Now, let's take a look at the term biomolecules. They are actually molecules that support life. Bios mean life, so they are molecules that support life. And there are several large biomolecules in the body of living organisms. They include carbohydrate, protein, lipid, as well as nucleic acid we are going to discuss in this video. Nucleic acid are large macromolecules composed of monomers called nucleotides. Now take a look at this building. Let's assume this is the large macromolecules. Now they are made up of units such as the bricks that you can see. So the bricks are guided as the monomer. So nucleotide is the monomer of a large structure called nucleic acid. Remember, units of nucleotide make up the large structure called the nucleic acid, and we have two types of nucleic acid. We have the DNA and RNA. Note that the nucleoside comprises of the sugar and nitrogenous base, while nucleotide comprises of sugar, nitrogenous base, as well as phosphate group. Let's talk about the nucleotide, which is the unit of nucleic acid. The structure of nucleic acid is being displayed. You can see that it comprises of the phosphate group, the nitrogenous base, and sugar. A molecule of nucleotide is called mononucleotide. Now, two molecules of nucleotide or two nucleotides combined together is called dinucleotide. Note that two nucleotides are actually joined together by phosphodiester bond, as you can see from the diagram. You can see the first nucleotide, you can see the second nucleotide, and this is the result. You can see that the phosphate group of one nucleotide combined with the sugar of the other nucleotide to form the phosphodiester bond. Water is given out in the process. Now let's take a look at the dinucleotide again. The first nucleotide, this is the phosphate group, this is the sugar group, and this is nitrogenous base. The second nucleotide, this is the phosphate group, the sugar, and the nitrogenous base. Now let's discuss the structure of the nucleotide in detail. As you can see from the diagram, the nucleotide has three components, namely the nitrogenous base, the pentose sugar, and the phosphate group. Let's talk about the nitrogenous base in nucleic acid. Now, we have 5 nitrogenous bases. In nucleic acid, we have the adenine, the guanine, the cytosine, the uracil, and the thymine. Now, note that these 5 nitrogenous bases are divided into 2 groups, purine and pyrimidine. As you can see from the diagram, the purine comprises of the adenine and guanine. Note that adenine and guanine are purine. Take a look at this purine diagram. There are 9 member rings. Now let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So there are 9 member rings. 4 members of this ring are nitrogen, while the other 5 are actually carbon. Now, this is a nitrogen, this is another nitrogen 2, this is another nitrogen 3, and this is another nitrogen 4. Now, let's count the carbon. This bond here is carbon bond 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now, let's take a look at it again. Purine have a double ring system or structure. This is one ring and this is ring number 2. Remember, purine comprises of adenine and guanine. Let's talk about the pyrimidine. The pyrimidine is a 6-member ring structure or system with 2 nitrogen and 4 carbon. You can see the 2 nitrogen, this is 1, 2, and the 4 carbon, this is 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, remember, the pyrimidine include the cytosine, the thymine, and the uracil. In DNA, uracil is absent, while in RNA, the thymine is absent. So now let's take a look at the 4 bases present in DNA. We have the adenine, we have the thymine, we have the guanine, and cytosine. Now remember, adenine and guanine are actually purine, while thymine and cytosine are pyrimidine. Now the 4 bases of RNA include adenine and guanine, which are actually purine, while we have the cytosine and uracil. Note that in RNA, thymine is replaced by uracil. So in RNA, thymine is absent, while in DNA, uracil is absent. Let's take a look at the sugar. Sugar in nucleic acid is termed pentose sugar because they are simple sugar that contains 5 carbon atoms. Now you know that 1 carbon atom is mono, 2 di, 3 tri, 4 tetra, and 5 penta, and 6 hexa. Now in this case, the nucleic acid contains 5 carbon sugar atom or molecule, and they are called pentose sugar. Now take a look at this diagram. This is carbon 1, carbon 2, carbon 3, carbon 4, and carbon 5. So they are called pentose sugar. In DNA, the kind of pentose sugar present is called deoxyribose sugar, while in RNA, the kind of pentose sugar present is called the ribose sugar. Now let's take a look at these two structures. In the deoxyribose sugar, you can take a look at the carbon 2. Hydrogen atom is present there, while in the ribose sugar, the OH group termed the hydroxy group is present there. Now let's look critically at the deoxyribose sugar. You realize that oxygen atom is absent in this. So it's called deoxy, which means that it has actually lost oxygen, while in the ribose sugar, oxygen atom is present. So this is the simple difference between the deoxyribose sugar and the ribose sugar. In the deoxyribose sugar, oxygen atom is not present in the carbon 2 but hydrogen atom, while in the ribose sugar, hydroxy group or oxygen atom is actually present in the carbon 2 in the form of hydroxy group. Note that DNA possesses deoxyribose sugar and RNA possesses ribose sugar. Let's talk about the last group of the nucleotide, the phosphate group. As you can see from the diagram, the phosphate group comprises of 1 phosphorus atom and 4 oxygen atoms. In DNA, the phosphate group combine chemically with the sugar group of the other nucleotide to form the backbone of the DNA structure. Note that the bond is called the phosphodiester bond. Other bond present in nucleic acid is hydrogen bond. For details of the RNA and DNA structure, check my videos on RNA and DNA. This video is basically the overview of nucleic acid. What are the functions of nucleic acid? They actually store and transfer genetic information, regulate protein synthesis. They also carry out gene transcription and translation, as well as transferring genetic information from parents to offspring. Alright, this is the overview of nucleic acid. Please subscribe to support this channel. Thank you.